Foundation is the only cancer-related organization solely focused on cancer prevention and early detection.
Test.
Testing. 1, 2.
Testing.
Test.
I think we're all. Everybody sound good?
They don't need to hear me.
Hey, Sonic.
Nothing
Come back
see
to
here.
me. Come back.
Perfectly normal gameplay.
Just don't think that we're going through a giant wall right now. Definitely not happening.
You got this, dude.
All right. On the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Sonic Advance 3, right after Sonic Advance 1. Could you explain the mechanic behind this game?
So the new thing added into this game is something called tag partners. So you see this happening right now with Sonic and Amy right now. So Amy's the main character and Sonic's the support. As you hold the R button on the controller, you start charging up, and you can pull in your tag team partner and then do a move with them. So with Sonic, he acts as a dash pad pretty much. So back there you saw Kirby pause for a second and then unpause. So for a frame, Sonic puts a literal invisible dash pad right underneath you. So you can there's actually a single frame you can jump off of it. And literally the button combination is just, while you're holding charge in the air, you pause, release charge, hold jump, unpause, you got it.
Yeah, pause buffering is that easy in this game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonic and Amy.
Yeah, another thing that's worth mentioning, in addition to the fact that Sonic gets a hammer, anyone gets a hammer when paired with Amy for this one, is the fact that in time attack mode, it's a little bit different than the base game, simply because you have access to every single character. It's kind of like a new game plus mode where you can switch whenever you need to. So what he's going to be doing is using the optimal, or pretty much the optimal pairing in each and every stage.
Yeah, this game actually has a very confusing hub world. I cannot navigate it sometimes. And but the big thing is in any percent, you pretty much just don't change characters because it takes so long to go back to the character select screen, switch characters to get back in the hub world to go to that level. It's not worth it. So since this time Amy's come around, her tag team is in the air. She'll hammer Sonic up, and then on the ground she'll just kind of do a Sonic Generations type thing that she'll hammer the ground next to Sonic, and that will shove him up in the air.
That was a really good stage.
And
so here comes the most broken team.
Yeah, you're going to see them a lot.
So Sonic and Tails. Well,
Tails and Sonic.
Tails and Sonic. So Tails gets the normal Sonic thing, but Tails can keep that momentum going while he flies, as you can just see. So he can skip so much. You'll also see this when we use Cream later on, but the big difference between Tails and Cream is Tails goes really fast.
She goes faster vertically.
Yeah.
But she does lose speed horizontally.
But the fun thing about Cream is you can actually cancel flight with her, so that you can pull off a couple of neither tricks with her. Also, Cream has cheese, which is very helpful for a lot of characters as well, and you can attack with them.
Especially, you're going to be seeing a lot of Cream and therefore cheese against the bosses. So yes, he's cheesing the bosses.
Just to go on and throw out as well, the music in this game is amazing. I don't think there's a single soundtrack that I don't like yet.
So this boss coming up, I'm going to be using Tails and Cream. Cream's tag action gives you the ability to use your Chow Cheese when you're not actually Cream. Oh, whoops, wrong characters.
It also changes cheese, and he looks adorable no matter what.
Yeah. So the idea is that you can attack Eggman during his invincibility frames and hit him on the first possible frame with cheese. But the problem is I can't do that on the mini-boss fight coming up here, so I'm using Tails in the front. Because I can tail swipe him during his invincibility frames and buffer hitting him on the first possible frame.
So I forgot this guy's name.
General.
Yeah, but pretty much Dr. Edmund took control over him, and now he builds all of his machines off of him. And it's sometimes, like, where he's placed in the machine, it looks so funny. Like right now with the base, he actually will rotate and look at you depending where you are on during the boss fight. And it just kind of looks silly to me.
It's not. This is not. This is. Oh, whoops.
So you can see
Not gonna be some
she's
minutes.
going there and getting most of the hits. That's the easiest way to attack most of the bosses during times when they would normally be out of your reach.
Something to note is that I try to move to the left while dealing the final hit because I want Eggman to end as close to the right side of the screen as possible. Because this animation right here, you don't have control of your character.
And it's so slow.
So ideally, Eggman would be off screen, but that's impossible for most bosses. So the sooner he flies off the screen to the right, the more quickly I can regain control of myself. So this next zone here is Sunset Hill. I'm going to be using Cream and Sonic. As Gadrith mentioned earlier, the advantage to this team is that Cream flies vertically more quickly. That's not really a big deal, an issue in this stage, but I use them more because Cream can cancel her flight, like this. Tails cannot.
And you literally only hit B to cancel the flight. Like, controls are actually really simple in this game.
Yeah, this game is pretty complicated to learn because of the tag action mechanic. Like, you always have to... Ooh. You have to always memorize, like, when to start charging your tag action. And react if you mess it up.
Yeah. Casually, you can get into a really bad situation that you just kind of tag action all the time, and a lot of the time you can just flat out kill yourself doing that.
So every time you use Sonic's tag action, you might notice I'm rolling every time. The reason being, when you use Sonic's tag action normally, the game puts you on the boost path for 1 frame, and you travel around 10 pixels per frame. But if you hold down or jump the frame you use as tag action, you roll or spin jump roll. And the thing about that is that the game makes you travel at 12 pixels per frame. So you go a lot more quickly. But occasionally I'm gonna not do that just to control my speed, or sometimes I need to go at a lower speed. There's also another mechanic that I'm abusing right there. So when you charge a tag action, it normally takes around 1.5 seconds. Exactly 1.5 seconds actually. But if you cancel your tag action charging animation by running up a wall or getting hit or attacking, and you're still holding the R button, then it only takes 1 second to charge it. And they take advantage of that right here, for example. So I'm holding R, cancel it by landing on the waterfall, and now it only takes 1 second to charge that. So I have to try to memorize when the tag action is coming up if I need to have only 1 second to charge it instead of 1.5 seconds, and then prepare that by canceling it with an animation.
So if you were here for Sonic Advance just a few minutes ago, you heard Kirby talk about subpixels that still exist in this game, and they can be really mean because depending on where you land, you can hit a subpixel and just immediately stop and lose all your speed. So here's Knuckles and Amy. So Knuckles and Amy has a pretty cool little ability. Knuckles can now spin dash on walls. You can skip a lot of stuff with this.
This is meant to be like an exit if you make a mistake, but I'm just going to climb out of it and skip the entire level.
Yeah. You'll see this a lot when we get to Aquatic Base.
That's never happened before.
Ocean Base.
There we go.
Here in the next set of levels. Pretty much, I think for 2 levels we use Knuckles and Amy, and it skips like at least 2 minutes worth of stuff.
I want to say 2 minutes, but yeah, it's really fast.
Well, depending on how confused you get when you do Ocean Base.
Yeah, this team is really good for vertical climbing if you have giant walls to climb up.
Yeah.
So, alright, this next boss coming up has a lot of luck to it. So Eggman is in a ball that rolls around a half pipe, and how far he gets knocked back and when he changes direction is random. So that can affect whether I can get an off-screen kill with him, which is a really tricky tag action I have to do. So let's see if I can get it.
And when you watch this boss is not as easy as Kirby makes it out to be. Pretty much this whole time, Kirby's trying to like do guesswork with Cheese. No, not really guesswork, but he's trying to predict and make sure he hits the right where Eggman's going to be when his instability frames.
4, get hits.
And
5.
he's also hopes
pretty
that
far left. That should be good.
he also kind of hopes that Sonic will actually get a hit in at some point, but he never
There we go.
does.
That should be good. And now, since I used Sonic's tag action for the last hit, I seesaw back and forth, so Eggman's completely off screen.
And it's literally like, yeah, there it is. Doesn't even like play the whole audio.
There we go. That was still really good, though.
Yes. A sub 38 is good for this fight.
Typically, an off-screen kill gives me a 36 or 37. So Ocean Base is the third zone in the game, and it has a lot more vertical climbing. Sonic and Tails, well, this isn't as broken as Tails and Sonic. This team is nice in that I get Tails' tag actions. Tails' tag action on the ground tosses the lead character really high and to the side. Similar to Amy, right here.
But it's leapfrog. Oh. Yeah, like, this level, with that tag action, you can skip quite a bit of stuff.
So I'm skipping a boost pad right here to go up to the platform, and then taking a shortcut here. Oop.
Oh yeah, that can happen as well with Tails and Sonic.
Tails' air tag action, he carries you as if it's like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Slope jump here, that should make it. Got it.
So slope jumping, when he lands on the slope with the speed from the tag action, he can actually keep it for a little while, and it's really helpful for certain locations.
So what you saw me do at the start of the stage is something called a trick, which was a mechanic introduced in Sonic Advance 2. When you hit a spring or a ramp, you can trick in 4 different directions. In this game, you can't really trick in 4 directions, and you can only do it in 4 characters, but it still has its uses, and that's the main reason I use this team.
And I suppose it's worth mentioning again that slopes do modify your jumps. If you're going up a slope, you'll get more height and less speed, and vice versa.
Pretty much any mechanic we talked about back in Advance 1, besides the scenes, it still exists now. Like, scenes kind of still exist in this game, but we don't really use them right now.
Okay, so I just skipped the first part of the stage by climbing out of a pit that you're supposed to fall down by making a mistake. Oops. And then I'm kind of go seesaw back and forth to get down these waterfalls. There's supposed to be an underwater section. The developers were really nice to put this nice shortcut here, so you can say goodbye to water. Bye. And there's 3 cannons here that I'm supposed to ride up, but I'm going to spin dash past the first one and use Amy's tag action to skip the second and third one. That hit's intentional, by the way, to control my speed. There's a moving platform coming up that I'm supposed to ride, but the developers put a nice little shortcut right here. Got it. So I just skipped that platform. And there's also a giant 2 moving platforms I'm going to skip right here by spin dashing up this wall.
Hopefully, yeah.
There we go, got it.
So that robot that you saw flying by is really bad for just hitting you and knocking you all the way back down the wall repeatedly.
I need to give myself enough space to turn around before that robot. Ooh, some pixels. Before that robot. Yeah, I need to give myself time to turn around before hitting that robot, or else I get knocked to the right.
That's a really obnoxious place to get subpixeled too.
Yeah. That was...
All right, so the third stage coming up uses Sonic and Cream, which is a lot of runners' favorite team for a good reason. So Cream's tag action not only gives you access to cheese, but when you use her tag action in the air, she directly amplifies your vertical velocity. So a lot of casual players dismiss this as being useless because people try to use it at the peak of your jump. But because your vertical velocity is really low at the peak of your jump, you don't get too much height. So if you use it just as you hit a spring or just at the start of your jump, you gain a lot of height using this technique.
Also, Cream ends up giving Sonic a kind of a forward dash that you saw back there, there a second ago. That's really useful, especially later on, to give Sonic effectively a third jump, even though it's completely horizontal.
So the advantage to using Sonic Cream versus Sonic and Amy and Sonic and Tails is that while Cream's tag action can't give you as much height as Tails and Amy's tag actions, she gives you a lot more horizontal mobility in the air. So she's kind of like a jack of all trades, whereas Sonic and Amy and Sonic and Tails give you more vertical height, whereas like Tails and Sonic gives you more horizontal speed. So we're going to see this team used a bit near the end of the run, but for now, just keep this in mind. All right, this boss coming up. The team you use doesn't really matter too much, as long as you have cheese. So I'm going to use cheese and Knuckles. Knuckles. The reason being, cheese becomes a flying barrier around you when she's paired with Knuckles. So this isn't really directly helpful if I don't make a mistake, but if I do, it can become a nice backup.
So the IL strat for this level that Kirby likes to hate on quite a bit, and I understand it now after he's told me multiple times, is on the last hit, you actually fly up as with Cream, and you hope that cheese hits Eggman as she rotates up.
So getting these hits with cheese is a lot harder than it looks because Eggman's feet are much bigger than they look. And when you command cheese to attack him, your own hitbox increases. You have to make sure to stay really far away from his legs. And you have to stay in between the legs and be aiming at the center while being as high up as possible. So he was pretty far close to the right, so that was still a pretty good fight.
Yeah, once again, you can hear when he despawns with his audio just completely cuts out.
The Toy Kingdom is a zone that's has a lot of cycles stuff. It's kind of like the casino zone of the game, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's mostly just cycles. So at the very start of this level, there's a block cycle that's really easy to make. So even if I make a minor mistake, it's not really going to matter.
Unfortunately,
Right here?
the price for a lot of mistakes in Toy Kingdom is getting crushed by a block.
Oh yeah, Toy Kingdom introduces a lot of crushing blocks.
Yeah, so
I'm going to wait here a bit intentionally for a block cycle to move out of the way right here. There's a chance you just run into that block and die if you're not careful. Because this is a Sonic game. And
Yeah.
what's a Sonic game without weird glitches like that?
Or levels like this that are just obnoxious to speedrun.
yeah.
Also, the hitboxes, the crushing for the boxes is just really bad for this game.
Alright, so dash
It's-
jump. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, like the boxes are a little finicky. Like earlier in practice on Sunday, that was a really good level, by the way. Kirby actually went into the corner of a box and clipped right through it.
So right there, I used Sonic's tag action and jumped the frame I used it off a really steep slope. You gain a lot of speed if you do that. It's generally a task-only trick, but you can do it off of certain slopes pretty reliably. Because you can also do the same trick off a wall, but if you charge a tag action on the wall, you'll have only one frame to do the tag action before you lose it. So I wait here intentionally for this block cycle right here to move out of the way, or else I get crushed. And there's another block cycle after these set of springs, but I generally don't make it. I'm definitely not making it. Wait a bit there because there's a bunch of toy box cycles coming up here. Some people think that these are random. These give you have to look at the diamond that on the front of those little jack-in-the-boxes. If it's blue, it'll give you a spring, and if it's red, it'll give you spikes and hurt you.
So there was showing off using Sonic's tag action with
Yes!
tails again, and that's a tricky thing
What?
to make. What?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
amazing.
really happy with that though, because making that block cycle at the very end is really tight and saves around 5 seconds.
But as I was saying before that happened, there was pretty much the whole mechanic with Sonic, Tails and Sonic again of pretty much using the tag action and then using Tails' fight to keep all that momentum. So on this stage, Kirby is using Knuckles and Sonic solely because there is a block that only Knuckles can break. Two blocks.
Oh, could you explain how you yeah? So in boost mode, there's boost mode in this game, as we mentioned, as you can tell already. You can only get boost mode if you have Sonic on your team, which works similarly to Sonic Advance 2. You move really fast, you accelerate really quickly.
Those are the blocks, by the
Yeah,
way.
these are the blocks that I need Knuckles for. On the other hand, okay, that's very bad. All right, time to take the lower route.
So pretty much, with boost mode, any character in this game becomes exceptionally fast, and that is solely why Sonic is brought in with Knuckles on the stage. Is because you need Knuckles for the stage, but you still need to go fast. So Sonic's the best character to have to make any character faster.
On the other hand, power attacks you can only have if you have Knuckles on your team. Power attacks are attacks that allow you to destroy power barriers. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, that ending was really nice.
So when you have Knuckles Sonic, it actually replaces Knuckles Glide with a headbutt, and you don't get as much distance. But
Thank you, Sonic.
in this game, Knuckles actually has a lot of landing lag from his glide, so the headbutt is really good because it's literally just he hits the ground, spins, and can keep going.
It gives you a burst of speed forward, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a hit or miss because a lot of times you want the actual glide casually, but in the speedrun context, headbutting can be pretty nice. It's really similar to Knuckles' forward trick in Sonic Advance 2. So,
Okay,
this boss.
So this boss is quite literally pure RNG. He has sets of moves that, in the first, I think it's just 2.
So I'll explain it because
Yeah.
there's nothing going on in this fight. So the gimmick behind this boss is that this boss very slowly moves forward the entire time, unless you hit him on the first possible frame, which you can do by just spin dashing here. The first 7 hits, he has 3 possible attacks: a jack-in-the-box, which he just did, a ball and chain, which is this attack here, and a missile. The jack-in-the-box attack takes around roughly 5 seconds. The ball and chain takes roughly 10 seconds, and the missile costs around 12 to 13 seconds.
And then after the 3rd hit, he stops doing Jack in the Box.
A 7th hit, but
Seventh,
yeah. So the
And-
chances of doing a jack-in-the-box lower with every hit until it becomes a flat-out 0% after the 7th hit.
So, thankfully right now Kirby's actually getting pretty decent RNG. I mean, he's not getting some jack-in-boxes, but Chain's still just as good. During practice yesterday, he got...
I got 9 missiles in a row, I think.
He only got 1 ball and chain. Everything was
that.
missiles.
I missed
It was great.
It was.
And obviously it's paying off because he's getting pretty decent RNG.
I wouldn't consider this decent. I'd rather get like a few missiles and a few jack-in-the-boxes than like 1 jack-in-the-box and more ball and chains. But hey, better than several missiles.
So Kirby, when's the IL world record for this?
Screw you, we're Surfer to be having a 4-second faster time than me. I should be asking Darkspine Sonic that.
So, as you see right there, that's why the missile takes just so long. And then the animation of the robot afterwards just sitting there like, huh?
Huh?
What's going on?
Alright, so there's 2 more hits left. For the last hit, I'm going to be using Sonic's tag action to go to the left and go for an off-screen kill. This is random because Sonic's behavior can be random. Sometimes he won't cooperate, and I have to go back and hit the boss. Also, because of the randomness, the cycle for these toy soldiers varies. Oh, bye, Sonic.
Yeah,
So
the AI
this should be good.
The AI is not the best thing in the game.
Sonic!
Oh,
Sonic!
that
Oh, well.
sucks, man. But yeah, the AI is not the smartest thing in this game when it comes to your partner. They will kill themselves quite a bit.
So, in a single segment run, I consider sub 2 minutes pretty decent, at least above average. Above 2 minutes is kind of mediocre. Over 2 minutes and 10 seconds is terrible. So it's kind of eh. Alright, so Tinkle Snow is kind of the ice zone of this game, and it's probably my favorite zone after the last zone in the game. And unfortunately, while I like this game a lot for its variety, I'm going to be using Tail Sonic's entire zone, and there isn't too much to explain, so we can probably read off a few donations for now. So, probably better off restarting. But yeah, this is a good time for a few donations.
Alrighty. So we have $25 from Lizzie Stastish. What better place to donate than the awesome Sonic block? Loving the runs and the reason behind all of this. Money goes to Ocarina of Time, Master Quest, All Dungeons Glitz Exhibition. Can't imagine it not being totally funny. We also have $30 from Cringy, loving the Sonic block, keen as heck for the Spyro run later. Cheers to you beautiful people, love from Australia. We also have $20 from Clamburger. Watched my first Games Done Quick last summer and was super pumped when I seen it was on again. You guys rock. We have $50 from Ali Poldar. The Sonic Advance games always seems underrated. It's good to see them being played.
Well, we squeeze in 2 more donations, I think.
We have $50 from Ryorus. Hello from London, donating during the games that made me fall in love with these streams. Donation is in memory of my grandma who passed away from cancer last year and in support of my mom who is currently suffering from secondary breast cancer. Let's beat cancer with speed.
So this level, there's 2 major routes in this level. What used to be a route, we used Sonic and Tails because there's a lot of vertical climbing on the upper route. But the tasks use Tails Sonic and use this route, and I pretty much copied Worcester's IL for this to learn this level, and it's a bit faster than Sonic and Tails. I definitely want to give a shout out to Worcester because he had a lot of ILs for this game, and there were like no resources at all for this game. So I started off doing individual level runs for this, and without his videos, I would not be where I am today. So right here, we're going to take a dip into the water. And we're going to stay in the water for a long time, and drowning is a thing in this game, so we'll see how things work.
It may have happened yesterday. Granted, he went for an IL-only strat, but...
Twice.
and still was pretty close to making it out.
There we go. Alright, Act 3 is a pretty cool act. No pun intended. So at the very start, I'm going to be doing a slope jump into Sonic's tag action to a flight. Right here. And just fly over about a third of the level.
So yeah, this seems really broken.
Oh, that's not good. I'm supposed to charge attack action there. Oh well, not a big deal. There we go.
So unlike a lot of Sonic games that once you get into carts and stuff, you're kind of locked into them until the end.
Well, you can
in
jump
this
out
game,
in this
you can just
game.
jump straight out, and it does make it a lot better. But the cart sections are fun. But we want to go fast.
You usually want to skip the cards because you can outspeed them pretty easily. Okay, here's a glitch that's coming up that's really tight to make. Nope, missed it. So if I tap R just after taking damage, and then do a trick. Oh, you can trick there? What? Okay. Then you trick the first possible frame after coming out of that hoop, and that's faster.
So right there with Tails pretty much sinking straight into water was actually a subpixel. It was, well, a dead frame is a better way of putting it.
I just made a mistake and forgot to charge my tag action. So forgetting missing tag actions that you're supposed to charge can be pretty punishing in this game because it just ruins all of your strategies. So I might need a little bit of quiet for this boss because I need to concentrate for this. But the gimmick behind this boss is you need to repeatedly drop platforms on this boss, and if you make a mistake, you die. If you get hit, you're basically dead as well. I primarily use this team for Amy's tag action. So here we go. I'm not gonna get a quick kill with that. Maybe? Nope. Alright.
So if you saw how those platforms work, it's not immediately stepping on them drops them. They actually will wait until you get off the platform for them to fall down.
Oh, what? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to improvise a bit. So there's a quick kill strategy for this boss where you hit him, you kind of get him in the stun lock. Oops. But I'm completely messed that up, so this is I'm just gonna have to kind of improvise and hope I don't get killed. Oh, I didn't die. That's nice.
Eggman's being really mean.
Amy's tag action is very nice for this boss, as you can tell. Okay.
Nice.
So, the idea behind the IL strat is to hit Eggman as soon as possible and keep him in one spot, because you can barely hit him with 8 platforms in a row, and you have to hit him on the first possible frame. A perfect time will be roughly a 37. For 37, 38. But if you, after the 4th hit, if you don't hit him on the first possible frame anytime, then he starts attacking you and wasting like around 7 to 10 seconds or something. It's a pretty difficult fight, but oh well. So this level, Cybertrack is the 6th zone in the game, and Cybertrack is like the gravity level of Sonic games, of this game.
So the layout, like the aesthetic besides the background, might look familiar to Cosmic Angel, as I like to keep reminding Kirby sometimes. But this game has levels actually have a lot of neat little tricks with them, which one of them will come up with using Tails a little while later.
Alright, so I'm going to upside down jump, then use Knuckles' headbutt to gain some speed. That's really the only reason I use Knuckles Sonic, just for that little headbutt there. Oh,
And one thing
and
that's,
here too.
One thing that's worth mentioning is that getting subpixeled while in boost mode is particularly annoying because I don't think it was explained too much in detail. Like in Sonic Advance 2, if you lose speed for too much, you can lose boost mode. You need to maintain at least a certain amount of speed for it to not go away.
Just Cream and Sonic. Right, so Cream and Sonic I use primarily for her ability to fly higher more quickly than Tails. Tails and Sonic is faster over the stage, but Cream Sonic's a lot easier. Oh, got that. That's a frame perfect tag action right there.
That's great.
To do it up the wall. And it's really nice to get it because it saves a lot of time. Can we go for a chin put here? Missed it. Oh well.
Twitch chat, let's see those tryhards.
Well, it's not really a chin put, more like a lip put.
You'll see more of those when we get to the next.
That's the only time I
stages as
do
well.
go for it. The reason being, I have to hold left to pull myself back, and also buffer holding A and letting go of R, and I need an extra finger or lip or whatever to press the start button.
That was still a very solid stage.
That was a pretty decent stage, so. Alright, this next stage is pretty broken. So, we mentioned what Tails' air tag action does, which is to carry the lead character. What actually happens is that Tails, when you use Tails' tag action, Tails is right where you initiate the tag action, but the lead character gets shoved downward. So, you notice pinball machines we used a while ago? Oh, whatever. You're supposed to enter this from the right side, but I'm just gonna enter it from the exit, and I just skipped 1/3 of the level right there. Bye-bye.
There are a couple more instances of that in this level. It's just not nearly as impactful as that first one.
So that right there was an unintended. I don't think you're intended to take that path like that, but
What are you talking about? It's completely intended, Kirby.
I got screwed over up with subpixels there. There is a small chance that you run into the top platform and just fall down and die, and there is not much you can do about that, as far as I know. You can slow down, which is why I slow down a lot, and that mitigates the chance of that happening, but it was unfortunate it just happened here, so oh well. Oh, okay. This is why I use Knuckles and Tails and not Sonic and Tails. That's a nice backup there. Okay, there we go. That was a bit slow, but I didn't die. That's what's important. There's another spot where I can just randomly die, thanks to subpixels. I can just randomly fall through a rail. It hasn't happened in a while, so fingers crossed. I probably just jinxed myself. Okay, so here I'm supposed to go around this giant box, but I'm just gonna skip that using the same clip. Bunch of moving platforms, but the developer put a railing just below here, and that's where I can just fall through a rail and die. To be really careful here. Taking it very safely. Normally I go a bit faster than that, but yeah. So you're supposed to ride that moving platform and wait until it's below this guy here, but again, I'm just gonna clip into it and skip that. And here's the General fight, which is the worst General fight in the game because he has this really obnoxious barrier for some reason. He gave me perfect luck! Oh my god! Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, I'm fine. Another nice thing about Knuckles and Tails is that Knuckles gets this uppercut attack, which is nice for this General fight. So that stage could have been gone better, but yeah, it's one of the hardest stages in the game, so it's what it is. Alright, so this next fight, I would definitely like some quiet for this because I have a bunch of audio cues for this fight. The gimmick behind this fight is that Eggman fires a bunch of orange balls at you, and you have to deflect them back at him. The hitboxes for these are stupid. They're terrible.
It's almost entirely random.
Yeah, I have setups for the first 4 hits, so if I get them, I'll look like a genius. But for the last 4 hits are basically random, so I pretty much have to wing it from there. That should be fine. Okay, that's the first 4 hits. It's really important to get the first 4 hits quickly. Ooh, that was a good hit. Because the more hit times you hit Eggman, the more quickly he starts firing shots. That was nice. And if you fire shots really slow, that means fewer opportunities to attack him, meaning the fight will go very slowly. So the reason I use Amy Sonic is because I want Sonic's attack actually entering this fight, and Amy's also important for her oh, that's a bit scary. For her hammer. Alright, well, here we go again. I don't know if that'll hit. Okay, that's a hit.
Nice.
Here. That angle. Go. You can't stay on the side platform for too long or else they fall down.
As you probably noticed with Sonic repeatedly killing himself on them.
Yeah. So using Amy is really nice because normally your tag partner will spin jump, and you don't want them spin jumping when hitting these balls when you don't want him to. But when a character is paired with Amy, they do a straight jump instead, which is really nice because that means you can't hit the balls while doing a straight jump.
Nice.
But also, if you have Amy as their tag partner, then your lead character does a straight jump, but it's really, actually, a lot of people hate this, but it's actually really nice because it allows you to control your speed since you can spin in the air anytime you want, rather than being forced into a spin jump. So it's really convenient. And hey, there we go. Hey Sonic, what's up? Totally not standing in the air for some reason.
Yeah, must have activated slope glitch or something.
Alright, so I would like to call for serious time for this entire zone. This zone is very punishing and dangerous. So we're gonna see a return of Sonic Cream for the first 2 acts of this zone. And a single mistake will cost me like a lot of time, so I have to be really careful. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's a lot harder than it looks. Need a perfect jump there. Ooh. That has happened before. It's like the second time it's ever happened. I'm manipulate Creamer to get an extra hit on this barrier. Oh, she can just not do that. Thank you. Here we go. This part. Okay, that's Act 1 right there.
One thing I'll mention, aside from that actually being really impressive between acts, is that that loop that he had to go through twice there, that was a path switcher issue.
I didn't hit the pass switcher, so that's why I fell through that loop.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is Act 2, which is equally as difficult as Act 1. And also has one of my favorite jumps in the game. Good. Get right here. Yes! Okay. Keep in mind that this is all over a bottomless pit, so a single mistake means I die and lose about a minute or more. Okay. Let's go make it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh, too early. Just a nice backup right here for that mistake. And I'm back on the route I'm supposed to be on. Make it. Okay, there we go. Act 3, I'm going to use a completely different team, Tails and Amy. I still would like Quiet for this act. But in this team, Tails flies higher more quickly, but his flight is very limited in terms of time. So this level has 3 auto-scrollers where you have to ride on a moving platform. And I'm going to skip all 3 of them. There's an enemy right here, or I'm flying over him, so that's okay. I don't know if that'll make it. Crap. Ooh, that was close. Oh. Okay, there we go.
And yeah, as he said, pretty much all of that zone is over bottomless pits, except where he was intentionally falling down.
He made that look a lot easier than it actually is. So all those spikes that he landed on, there's like, what, 2 or 3 pixels that's actually solid? There's not much.
I think it's 1 or 2.
Yeah,
it's not much.
It's really impressive.
So this team isn't really that fast, the fastest for this boss, but I kind of want to showcase it because Amy gets this really cool hammer that does absolutely nothing useful besides be big. So you don't even deal any extra damage. We never really mentioned Knuckles' tag action. It's kind of useless for speed. Ooh, that's early. It's kind of useless for speedrunning, unfortunately. So Knuckles' tag action on the ground, ooh, you basically toss Knuckles like and that's a power attack. And in the air, you can glide on him, which is kind of cute. Oh, thanks. Okay, well.
So the gist of this boss is Eggman's trying to push you up into the spikes that are above you, and so you're trying to do the same. So you have to time your jumps right after he's
that's a bit
coming back
scary.
down.
There we go. Alright, when Amy's paired with Knuckles, she also gets her own little spin dash, but except she doesn't roll, which is pretty useful actually. Because remember, when you roll, you don't accelerate, so you're just running. And she also gets a hammer flip, like from Sonic Advance 1, where she jumps really high from the ground.
So the next two bosses, we actually have to go through the actual story mode to get to. They don't unlock in time trials.
Alright, so Sonic and Knuckles, is a pretty interesting team. So,
Knuckles, with having Knuckles in his team, Sonic can actually do a straight up attack, which is really good on this next boss. That's it right there.
that right there.
Yeah.
So besides platforming, it's really helpful. Next boss, it's pretty much what makes him pretty almost trivial. He still can be really mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck with the next bosses coming up. So on the other hand, while Sonic does get his up attack, he also gets insta shield when paired with Knuckles, and he also gets a bounce attack like this. Boing. Got perfect luck. Okay. So this is Knuckles' air tag action. Whee! And the ground attack action. Boing.
You can just tell they're best friends now.
Totally not fighting buddies. So the intended way to beat this boss is you have to wait for his hands to come down, then jump on his hand and hit Eggman. But if you have an attack that can hit something high, you don't have to do that.
There is a little bit of luck, though, with his hands, because they can block Sonic, and with the wrong timing, it can be a real issue.
Bad. Okay, I'm just gonna play it safe. Bye, Knuckles. When he covers his face like that, he's invincible, so you just have to wait. And it's random when he does that.
And yes, the boss is playing Pong with himself.
Oh, hey. Nice game of Pong. And he should be dead, I think. There we go. Alright, so...
Good fight.
In this game, to 100% this, you need to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds. To get a Chaos Emerald, you need to collect all 9 Chao, I think, for the corresponding zone. These can be in the levels or in the map or whatever in the main game. And then get the special key that appears randomly. Once you get that, you unlock the special stage. Once you beat the special stage, you get the Chaos Emerald.
I want to say it's 10, 1 in the map, 3 in each stage.
It's not
But I could be
necessarily 3 in
wrong.
each stage. Some stages don't have 1.
Yeah, like as a
But
general
yeah.
rule, though.
Maybe it's 10, I don't remember. But anyways, after you get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you unlock this fight coming up right here, and you unlock Super Sonic.
And this is called non-aggression, of all things.
And is a terrible fight, because it's completely luck, and hitboxes are terrible.
But you actually have Eggman as a tag partner just to like unlock the weak spot. And how you use them is actually a little funny.
Yeah, so when you use a tag action with Eggman, you shoot him forward, and when you hit a non-aggression with Eggman, you open up a weak point. The longer you charge your tag action, the longer the weak point will stay open, but usually you just want to open it up as soon as possible. Yeah. So this boss can attack between 1 to 5 times. I want him to attack as many times as possible, and then he'll do a missile attack, then attack between 1 to 5 times again, then do a giant laser, then a spin attack. I want him to do a spin attack as late as possible, because it's really difficult to hit Eggman during that attack.
Yeah, so you can physically shoot Eggman forward, but you want to actually just kind of nudge him into it a little bit, because then it allows you to immediately dash forward and hit the weak spot.
So these missiles are way bigger than they look, and Sonic's hitbox is also really massive, so where these missiles fire is random and it's really obnoxious, so I have to be really careful. This is actually ILPV pace. This was a really good fight so far. But he's doing the spin attack now. Oh, missed that. I mean, 3 attacks now.
Isn't it just amazing how quickly Eggman and Sonic become friends when Eggman messes up?
That should be it. Yes, there we go. Time, sorry, time.
That was 43:58.
Underestimate. That's Sonic Advance 3 right there in a nutshell. Oh yeah, not much else to say. Game. So as I mentioned before, I want to give a shout out to Worcester again for helping me a lot with learning this game. There's also definitely been a lot of other sources that have helped me. I've been able to talk with Mike89 and Quartz and Dash Jump for advice on a lot of specific things in this game as well. So generally speaking, a lot of people involved in the Sonic Advance community I want to give shout outs to for just helping me learn this game and other Sonic games. So yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much all I have to say.
All right, so coming up, we have Sonic Lost World, so please stay tuned for that run, which will surely be exceedingly awesome and probably pretty fast. We have $50 from Max Knight, who says, "Good morning, AGDQ. Max Knight is